Welcome to a new Draw My Life video.
Hey there, TikTakers! Do you like mystery and riddles? Today, we bring you a different video starring our favorite detectives Sherlock, Tiker, and Watson Tiker. Watch out, because you have to follow every detail to try to find out who the perpetrator is. Are you ready? Well, let's get started! The murder of Charles Mint at the Buddha Bar shocked the press. When journalists learned that Sherlock Tiker was leading the investigation, the case went viral. At a first glance, the facts didn't look very promising. Mr. Mint went to his usual bar with his wife Lucille and a close friend of the couple, Paula Dipper. Charles was wearing a suit. He had had a job interview. Lucille arrived beautifully dressed, full of jewels as always. She loved rings. Paula was wearing her blue coat but with a new bag. When the waiter took note, Paula ordered a black tea and Lucille and Charles decided to share a jug of sangria. Lucille was thirsty. As soon as the waiter served the sangria, she drank her glass in one drink. None of the three had anything else to drink. They spent the rest of the evening chatting. Everything was going well until Charles had a coughing fit, and when he got up to go to the toilet, he fell on the floor. His face was shaken and his body was spasming as foam came out of his mouth. Lucille, alarmed, called an ambulance. When the paramedics appeared, it was too late. Charles was lying on the ground, lifeless. They examined the body and confirmed that he had been poisoned with hemlock. Inspector Sherlock Tiker arrived at the scene of the crime with his assistant Watson Tiker. They locked down the place, and while forensics were analyzing what they had consumed, they began the interrogations. The first suspect was the bartender who prepared the drinks that night. He explained what ingredients he had used and the tables on which it had been served. Then they searched the bar for the hemlock but found nothing. The next suspect was the waiter who served the table. It was evident that he was nervous. He would not stop spinning the ring on his finger. In his statement, he said he knew the victim. All the three of them were regular clients. He told what each had asked for and how he had left the drinks on the table. First, he brought the tea, then the jug with the sangria glasses. Paula and Lucille confirmed the waiter's story and said that after being served, the three of them stayed in their places together all night. No one had got up, no one had approached the table. Lucille specified that Paula didn't want to drink sangria that night. The forensic examiner approached the table to give the detectives the results of their reports. Tiker read them carefully. The list of objects found on the table and analyzed were 2 glasses, a cup, a jug, and a spoon. Both the jug and the cups were filled with hemlock. Assistant Watson Tiker was confused. If the poison was in the sangria and in the 2 cups, how could it be that Mrs. Lucille had not died intoxicated? He looked at Agent Tiker and he stated that he had solved the crime. Do you already know who the murderer is? We will give you some time to see if you can figure out how it happened. The murderer was Lucille Mint and her accomplice was the waiter. For Detective Sherlock Tiker, it was obvious that they were lovers. The ring that the waiter spun in his hand betrayed him. It was so similar to the ones Lucille had. The poison was in the eyes. The waiter served the jug at the table and Mrs. Lucille took care of drinking it quickly so that the ice wouldn't melt. Charles, on the other hand, took longer to consume the drink and the hemlock entered his organism. Having consumed exactly the same, she thought she would be ruled out as a suspect. The person responsible for preparing the sangria would be blamed, and she and her lover could succeed in their perfect plan.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, and if you want to see more Draw My Life videos, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode!